So how many of you knew exactly what you want to be? Doctor, engineer, chartered accountant, company secretary, or an MBA like me? But I want to ask you, was that really your dream? To become an engineer or a doctor or an MBA? Or was that something fed into your mind by the family and the society? Because they want you to enter the rat race, end up in a secure job, and make your family proud of it. But was that really what you wanted to become? Because society around you pushed you to choose that career. But I want to ask you, was that really your choice? I think there's a warning here that you are falling for the trap. For the next 30 years of your life, you will be spending 85% of your time running for the things which you can't even relate to. Earn money, buy a car, buy a house, and all that to have happiness in the remaining 15% of your lifetime. And even that remaining 15% of your lifetime is not even yours. You have to share it with your family, with your friends, with your kids, and with the society. How does one get off this trap? So I have this very, very simple solution. Press the pause button of life. So we'll talk in detail about this pause button, maybe later. But for now, this conventional dream of getting a sustainable job is, I think, highly overrated. Because half your life, you are chasing dreams which are not even yours. And by the time you realize that these are not even my dreams, you are too tired to chase other dreams. So for me, I realized it in a while, or rather I should say during a journey. I had this realization that what is my actual happiness is. Like many of you, I had it all planned in papers and in mind that I'm going to complete my master's. I am going to end up in a very, very well-paid job, and I'm going to work my way through up the corporate hierarchy, and I'm going to make my kids super proud of their corporate mom. But here today I am with you sharing my thoughts as a food blogger. So how does I even end up doing food blogging while I was trained all this while to be a finance professional? Does my dream change? Or now I question that, was that even my dream? Maybe I was chasing that hasty dream of sustainable career choice with my passion, confusing it with my passion. It was not my passion. It was something which was fed into my mind by the people around. So I think a quote from John Lennon can best summarize my journey. Life is what happens to you when you are busy making other plans. And while I was busy charting my life was planning food blogging for me. It has something else for me in mind. And I was busy doing MBAs, getting a job, and working hard in the banks. But life was cooking something else for me. So I was in this leading investment bank. It was a very respectable job. It was all what I have dreamed of, what I always planned, and it was a steep career growth. But there was something missing. I mean, right there, I was not happy at all. I was missing passion. Life was like too mechanical. I was like a Walking Dead zombie, going to office every day, pressing buttons, coming back home, eating food, next day again going to office. So if I look at the bigger picture of life, life is too precious to spend on such mechanical things. We get this chance once. So why to waste it on such things which don't even give you happiness. So this job was what I always dreamed of, and nobody forced me to get into that. I was very happy when I got the offer letter. I remember we celebrated with a bottle of champagne when I accepted the offer. Still, eventually, with a period of time, I started feeling depressed, lonely, tired, as if I am in shackles. And there was something big really missing from that perfect picture. So thankfully for me, I have a life partner who understood my pain and pushed me to press this pause button of life for a while and think. Forget about the materialistic goals, forget about the financial dreams we had. He just pushed me to think that what on a day-to-day basis gives me happiness. What is that one thing on a daily basis that brings smile to my face? What is that one thing that opens my heart to joy and all the positive things around? So after pressing this pause button, for a year I tried my hands at different things. Certification courses, further studies being one of them, but with all of them there was only one problem. I was feeling disconnected. I was getting bored. And once again I was falling for the trap of doing things because I have to do them, not because my passion was there. So there was only one thing of which I could never get bored of, and that was food. Whether it was television cookery shows or a travel and food magazine or a discussion around food, I could never have enough of it. I can go on and on and on about food. So that's it. It has to be my passion. It was always there in front of me all these years, and I didn't even realize it. Why? Because maybe we are trained to believe that dreams need to be fancy. They need to be something complicated. They need to be something out of the box. And cooking is considered as a chore. It is something which millions of women do out there every day for their family and loved ones. So how it can be passion for somebody? How can it be a serious career choice for me? So this 1 year of thinking broke all the stereotypes and myths for me. And I decided that I wanted to do something around food. It is the thing that gives me happiness, so why not build my life around it? And so from there, this journey of a banker to a blogger began. But today it might sound like a fairy tale, but initially it was not that Disney movie picture perfect. There was no fairy godmother to fix things with a blink of an eye. And I nurtured this dream at a very, 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 very small level. I mean, when I started, I didn't even know that there is something called DSLR that exists. And how do people even write perfect recipes? It was just a medium for me to express myself. I was happy that at least 100 people out there reading what I am writing. And for me, it was more of an ego boosting and confidence building exercise because I was jobless, I was clueless that time. And I was so elated that people, at least few people, handful of people out there are appreciating what I am saying through my blog. Then, how this urge creep in to let the world know that I exist? With a period of time, I started exploring work of other food bloggers in different parts of the world. And I was mesmerized. I was like, how these people doing such brilliant work? They are so self-motivated. There were breathtaking photos, picture perfect write-up, and everything about their blog was like Martha Stewart perfect. And I questioned myself that why can't I do this? Life has given me this opportunity, this second chance to redefine my career choice. And what is that which is holding me back? Why can't I express my creative freedom in such an elegant and beautiful manner? And from there, I started looking around and thinking that what about food captures my attention more. So I find that it's everyday food. It's everyday conventional food that connects to me most. And from there, I started defining everyday Indian conventional food with the best possible manner I can. I mean, people out there, they just loved the idea. They just loved the fact that I am being honest with them, and with that honesty, I'm sharing with them how an urban India eats. They love the combination of curries on the plate, they love the colors on my plate, and they came forward and shared that love with me. And I think that was the turning point for me, that I got this signal from destiny that unconventional need not to be something very, very complicated. At times, redefining the conventional can be your breakthrough point. So, sometime last year, I started this lunchbox series of my husband's dabba that I pack for him every day. So, it is a very simple thing because millions of women every day pack lunchbox for their loved ones with so much love and affection. So I thought, why not to share with world what we have in our lunch boxes? And I started doing that. And people from different corners of the world, they started writing to me. They just loved the idea that how nachos exist with pulao in my lunchbox, how the pasta exists with fryams on my husband's lunchbox. They love the honesty. And it's been a year, I still cannot stop the series because the moment I do it, readers start writing, saying that we are looking forward what's there today in his dabba. So who could have thought that something as simple, as subtle as everyday lunchbox can get me printed on the newspaper or get me the social media limelight? I never thought that. And that was the signal to understand that dreams can be very, very, very simple. They can be very, very small. You just have to be passionate about them. You have to put your 100% in what you are doing. And I think that's what I enjoy most about this whole food blogging thing, that I am nurturing those small dreams every day, and they are contributing to my bigger dream, to my bigger happiness, that is the love for good food. And I think you must be thinking that this woman who eat, sleep, and probably breathe in the kitchen, how she can inspire me to break the chains of convention. And honestly, I cannot. Nobody can inspire you, because it has to be you who has to step forward, look around, and decide what gives me happiness. So it doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be like technologically advanced. It has to be something which gives you happiness on a routine basis. It could be your collection of records. It could be your collection of miniature bikes. Or it could be your interest in classic Hindi literature. It could be anything, and there is no shame in acknowledging in front of the world that my passion, my happiness is this is small, it is this simple. I am a simple person. I like straightforward things. Like for me, I have not done any gastronomic inventions. I have not defined any cuisine or any ingredient. All I have done is redefine the conventional thing which was always there from centuries, our everyday Indian food. And for me, food doesn't have to be complicated to taste good. It should be something clean, subtle, straightforward, from the heart of the person who's cooking it. There are a lot of great chefs out there in the world doing brilliant work with, all those third world ingredients. And I highly respect them for that. But my heart and soul connects with the everyday Indian food because that is who I am. And the day I started acknowledging the fact that who I am and what gives me happiness, my life changed forever. But sadly, this trick of pressing the pause button of life is neither taught at any school or at any university. You have to look around and think of the unconventional. There might be mentors and guides to show you the direction, like I had my husband, but that person can only show you the direction. You have to set out alone in that journey. And I must warn you that journey is at times very lonely, very tedious, very time-taking, and at times full of very low points. But it's worth risk-taking because in my case, risk paid well. And it is always best to do the thing rather than regret later. Because once a dying man told me that it is the worst thing in life to have regrets on your deathbed. Because at that moment of time, you cannot do anything about them. You have to die with them. Today, we don't have the luxury at times in life to stop for a while and think about the unconventional. But my point is that unconventional need not to be $1 million company plan. It need not to be some technological advanced discovery. It can be something around you which gives you happiness. And that is my challenge to you today, that you stand up, press the pause button of life, and think of the unconventional, and just don't wait for the permission for life to do it. Just do it. Because as humans, we still don't have control over one thing, which is time. So it is better to act now rather than regret later. Thank you.